Okay, I'm going to show you where 90+% of all installations occur, and that's at the 24-volt side of your air handler. You remove the cover, and 90% of the time your air handlers are going to have a terminal block. It's going to say W for white wire. You could see coming from the thermostat there's a white wire going to that white terminal block. White is for a furnace. RC and RH for the cold and the heat. You got a red wire coming from your thermostat to one of these two terminals. You have a green wire coming into the green for G, and that's your fan wire, and yellow you have coming in for your compressor, and then brown going to your ground. 90+% of the time your thermostats are all going to be labeled this way, and all of the color code wires are all the same. No matter what Carrier, York, Train, no matter who you have, this is a standard wiring diagram for all 24-volt side thermostats that are put into it. Now we're going to show you how simple it is to install the chip in between the thermostat and the air handler. Okay, what we've done here is put up a mock setup of what a thermostat to an air handler would look like. Now commercially it could be up on the roof of the air handler, residentially it could be in the attic. But the setup is always the same. There's always a 24-volt wire that will go exactly to the air handler. Now you remove the air handler cover and you're going to find over 90% of the time there's what is called a terminal block. And these terminal blocks are labeled W for white, RC for cold, RH for heat, G for the fan, yellow for the compressor, and C for the common. Now we're going to show you how simple it is to install the smart chip between the thermostat and the terminal block. It's color coded. White goes to white, red goes to one of the terminals on red. Green now, here's where the change comes out. We take the green wire from the thermostat out and we hook it to the gray wire of our smart chip because we want the signal to come from the thermostat through the gray wire into the green wire, and we hook our green wire from the chip to where the terminal was. Now, same thing with the yellow. The yellow wire is taken out and it's hooked up to the yellow wire of our chip because again we want the signal going to the compressor for the air conditioning, and we take the purple wire and put it where the yellow wire was. Why? Because if the compressor runs more than 25 minutes, it will automatically send a signal for that compressor to shut off. And then the brown wire naturally goes to the common. It's that simple. It's a 5 to 10 minute hookup. Again, let me repeat it fairly quickly. White goes to white, red goes to red, green is disconnected and is wired up together with the green-gray wire of the chip. The green wire then from the chip is put to the green terminal where the green wire from the thermostat was. We take off the yellow wire from the thermostat. We put the yellow wire with the yellow wire of the chip, and we take the purple wire and put it where the yellow wire was, and the brown wire to the common. That sets it up 90% of the time. Most of your installs are that way. The only other type of terminal block you might see is where the wires also are coming down to the terminal block. Doesn't change any of the wiring setup at all. All right, another way that you have to wire the chip in the south primarily, where we don't have furnaces because it doesn't get very cold, we have what is called heat pumps. So the standard white wire that is for the furnace, there are no furnaces, all you would do is hook the wiring the same as the other diagram, but you would take the white wire out and hook it to the common wire where the brown wire went. That's the only change if you have a heat pump. Take the white wire and move it over to the common if there's a heat pump. Now, how do you know if there's a heat pump? Normally there's an orange wire that will come from your thermostat and be hooked up to a terminal block that says OB, and if it is, that tells you to take the white wire from our chip and move it over to the common. Okay, now we're going to show you how to hook it up to a system that doesn't have a terminal block. Now these are older systems, but the wiring diagram works the same. Now you take the smart chip, and I want to show you that out of the air handler, there's usually wire nuts that connect to all of the wires that go to a thermostat. No difference. White will go to white, so now you'll have 3 wires on the wire nut. Red goes to red, so you have 3 wires on to red wire nut. The brown common goes to common, no difference. Where the difference is going to come in is the green wire, because if you remember, the green wire coming from the air handler is where our green wire of our chip is attached to with a wire nut. And then our gray wire that we have goes to the green wire that goes to the thermostat. And the only other change is the yellow wire. If you remember, we have the yellow wire, and with the yellow wire, the purple wire goes to the air handler, and the yellow wire goes to the yellow wire that goes down to the thermostat. The green fan wire you take apart. You take our green fan wire and connect it to the air handler green fan, and take our gray wire and connect it to the green wire that again goes down to the thermostat. You're not going to run into too many of these type of older units, but if you do, the wiring diagram is the same. Red to red, white to white. Yellow is connected to the yellow wire of the chip. The yellow wire that's going to the air handler is connected to the purple wire. The green wire is disconnected. The green wire from the chip is going to the green wire to the air handler, and the gray wire is connected to the green wire that goes down to the thermostat. That simple. Takes you about 5 to 10 minutes to install.